Look at your life. Really look at it with an honest and critical eye. Is this the life you consciously chose for yourself, pursuing your deepest desires and aspirations? Or is this merely what happened to you, a default path you fell into without true intention or direction? You did everything you were told to do, following the prescribed path to the letter. You diligently pursued good grades, excelling in your studies. You then matriculated into the university that was recommended to you, perhaps by parents, counselors, or societal norms. And finally, you secured this safe job, the one promising stability and security, just as everyone advised. You acquired the nice car, perhaps a luxury model, using money you don't truly possess, all in an effort to impress people you don't genuinely like or respect. You meticulously followed the script laid out for you, adhering to every expectation and societal pressure without deviation. So, if you've done everything right, why do you find yourself plagued by a deep, gnawing sense of existential dread that settles in every Sunday evening? Why do you feel compelled to numb yourself with alcohol, endless entertainment, and constant distraction, just to make it through another week of your existence? You are secretly miserable, a profound unhappiness simmering beneath the surface, because you are living a life that was not authentically chosen by you, but rather manufactured and imposed upon you by someone or something else. This pervasive system has many names. Some call it the matrix, others refer to it as the system, or more simply, the script. It is fundamentally a standardized, industrial-age assembly line, meticulously designed not for your fulfillment, but to produce obedient workers and voracious consumers, perpetuating its own existence. This system has no interest in your personal fulfillment or happiness. Its primary objective is for you to be predictable, easily managed, and compliant. It wants you to be just anxious enough to work hard and remain productive, yet simultaneously just comfortable enough in your routine and perceived security never to question its authority or consider revolting against its structure. You are not truly living a life of purpose, passion, or genuine connection. Instead, you are merely functioning, operating within the acceptable parameters and boundaries that have been set for you, without ever truly experiencing the breadth of human potential. From the very moment you were born, you were subtly, yet systematically, groomed for this specific existence. The education system, for instance, was not designed to teach you how to be free, how to think critically, or how to pursue your unique path. Instead, it meticulously trained you how to sit still for 8 hours a day, how to obey authority figures without question, and how to repeat information without ever truly questioning its validity or deeper meaning. This entire process was, in essence, a prolonged training program for the cubicle, preparing you for a life of repetitive tasks and confined spaces. Furthermore, debt, often presented as a financial tool for advancement, is in reality a powerful leash. It keeps you perpetually terrified of losing your job, ensuring you never take risks, never speak up against injustice, and never dare to leave the confines of your prescribed role. And entertainment, far from being genuine relaxation or a source of true joy, functions as a form of sedation. It serves to keep you perpetually distracted from the harsh reality of your own cage, preventing you from confronting the uncomfortable truths about your unfulfilling existence. This, in its most insidious form, is the modern iteration of slavery. It's a brilliant design, truly. There are no visible whips to enforce compliance, no overt chains binding you physically. Instead, the chains that bind you are far more subtle, yet equally powerful. They are forged from the weight of debt, the pressure of social obligation, and the terrifying, pervasive fear of being perceived as abnormal or deviating from the accepted norm. He just sold a piece of his very soul, his autonomy and dignity, for the meager security of a paycheck. You, in a profound act of self-imprisonment, have meticulously built your own prison cell, brick by brick, and in a cruel twist of irony, you actually pay rent to continue living inside it. But within this meticulously constructed system, there is a glitch, a tiny, persistent splinter in your mind, a nagging feeling that something is fundamentally wrong. You know, deep down in your core, that this monotonous, unfulfilling existence cannot possibly be all there is to life. You might be asking, if the system is a prison, why don't we just revolt? Why don't we just walk away? This is a common question, and it stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of the prison we find ourselves in. Because you have misunderstood the nature of the prison. You think you are in George Orwell's 1984, a world ruled by fear and pain, where overt oppression and constant surveillance are the primary tools of control. You imagine a system that relies on brute force and explicit prohibitions to keep you in line. You are actually in Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, ruled by pleasure and distraction, bribed to stay in the cage with a pacifier. This system doesn't need to use fear. It uses comfort, entertainment, and instant gratification to keep you docile and compliant. You are not being forced to stay in the cage with a whip. You are being bribed to stay with a pacifier, a constant stream of easily accessible pleasures that dull your senses and your desire for freedom. They don't need to burn books if no one wants to read them, or imprison you if you're too busy watching Netflix to notice your chains. The control is far more insidious, woven into the fabric of your daily life through endless entertainment and digital engagement. The system thrives when you are too distracted to question your reality. Cheap dopamine from porn, junk food, video games, and social media is the new opium of the masses. These aren't just bad habits. They are highly engineered mechanisms designed to provide instant, fleeting gratification, keeping you in a perpetual state of seeking without ever truly finding fulfillment. This constant pursuit of superficial pleasure prevents deeper introspection. These are highly engineered weapons of mass distraction, designed to keep you docile, numb, and from asking dangerous questions about your life. They are crafted to occupy your mind, preventing you from confronting uncomfortable truths about your circumstances or the systems that govern them. The goal is to keep you perpetually engaged, but never truly enlightened. A distracted man is a weak man, and weak men do not revolt. The entire global economy is built on the lie. You are not enough. This pervasive message fuels a cycle of consumption, convincing you that happiness and fulfillment are always just one purchase away. This constant feeling of inadequacy drives endless striving, but never true contentment. It needs you to feel fat, ugly, poor, and behind in life, so you trade your actual life, your time, for things you don't need. This insecurity is a powerful motivator for consumerism, leading you to sacrifice your precious time and energy in pursuit of material possessions that promise to fill a void they can never truly satisfy. You are constantly chasing an elusive ideal. The table goes silent, the vibe shifts from warm to cold, and they offer fear instead of support. This sudden change in atmosphere highlights the discomfort your aspirations create in others, as your desire for freedom challenges their own choices and compromises. Their fear becomes a barrier to your progress. This is the crab bucket mentality. If one crab tries to escape, the others pull it back down. It's a powerful metaphor for how social groups can inadvertently sabotage individual attempts at self-improvement or breaking free from conventional norms. Your ambition can be perceived as a threat to the status quo. Your friends and family, though good people, are terrified. Your freedom reminds them they gave up on their own dreams. They may genuinely care for you, but their own unfulfilled aspirations can manifest as resistance to your journey, as your success would highlight their own perceived failures or compromises. This can be a difficult truth to face. They will try to sabotage you, calling it realistic advice, but it is fear dressed up as love. This seemingly well-intentioned guidance often serves to keep you within the confines of what they consider safe and acceptable, rather than empowering you to pursue your true potential. It's a subtle form of control disguised as concern. The golden handcuffs are locked tight: comfort, distraction, and social approval. These are the powerful, yet often invisible, chains that bind us. They offer a sense of security and belonging, making the thought of breaking free seem daunting and even undesirable. The allure of these comforts is strong. They are heavy, but they are warm, and most people will die in these handcuffs, calling it a good life. The warmth of familiarity and the perceived safety of these constraints can be incredibly seductive, leading many to accept a life of quiet desperation rather than risk the unknown in pursuit of genuine freedom. They mistake comfort for happiness. This is the precipice, the moment of no return, where you stand on the brink of a profound decision. It's a point of no turning back, a threshold that demands your absolute commitment. Thomas stands outside his boss's door, a resignation letter heavy in his hand. It feels like 100 pounds, a physical manifestation of the weight of his choice. His heart hammers against his ribs like a trapped bird, a frantic rhythm echoing his internal struggle. Every instinct, millions of years of evolutionary programming, screams for safety, urging him to turn around. It tells him to go back to his cubicle, to stay safe within the familiar confines of the system. But the path to freedom lies beyond this fear, demanding a leap into the unknown. The system will try one last time to terrify you into submission, whispering insidious doubts. It will question your capability, your financial stability, and your very identity. It whispers, you'll never make it. You'll go broke. You'll be a laughingstock. Who do you think you are? These are the final chains of fear, designed to keep you tethered. It takes more courage to walk through this door than to walk into a burning building. Because on the other side of this door, there is no safety net, only the vast unknown. Imagine standing on the edge of a massive, fog-covered cliff, unable to see the bottom. You don't know if water or jagged rocks await you below, yet you must jump. He closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, and steps off into the void, a leap of faith into the abyss. This is the ultimate act of trust in oneself, a commitment to the unknown. You must realize that you will never feel ready to leave the matrix. Ready is a trap invented by the system. It's a clever illusion designed to keep you delaying forever, perpetually waiting for a perfect moment that never arrives. You will not build your wings before you jump. You have to jump first. You must commit to the fall, and then build your wings on the way down, adapting as you go. It will feel insane. It will feel like dying, and in a way, it is. It is the profound death of the slave you were trained to be, shedding an old identity for a new one. Welcome to the desert of the real. Thomas sits at his kitchen table, weeks later, free but terrified. The silence is deafening, a stark contrast to the constant hum of his old life. In the Matrix movies, when Neo wakes up, he isn't in a paradise. He's in a cold, dark, devastated world. Freedom is not comfortable. Freedom is cold, exposing you to raw reality. When you leave the artificial womb of the system, you are suddenly exposed to the elements. You have to hunt for your own food now, build your own shelter, and find your own meaning. It is brutally hard, and you will have days where you desperately wish you could plug back in. You will miss the steak, the ignorance, the false comfort of the familiar. He sits alone while old friends are at happy hour, realizing he no longer fits in there. This new path often means solitude, a necessary part of self-realization. Yet, he works twice as hard as he ever did at his job, but this time, his eyes are alive. This is the pain of growth, not the pain of decay, a vibrant struggle for self-realization. But here is the truth that the system doesn't want you to know. The worst day of freedom is still better than the best day of slavery. This profound realization fuels your journey. Yes, it is cold out here, but it is real. The air is sharp, and you are actually breathing it for the first time, truly experiencing life. You are no longer a battery. You are a human being, fully present and alive. He sees the crowds rushing to jobs they hate, eyes glued to phones, asleep on their feet. You can never go back to sleep once you have woken up. The cage door is open. You see the bars, you see the guards, you see the game for what it is. He doesn't judge them, feeling a deep, profound compassion, remembering being them. He turns a corner, walking down a different, quieter street, choosing his own path. He is alone, with less money and less certainty, but he is undeniably free. You only have one choice left, to sit in the open cage and rot, or walk out into the desert and finally start living. Wake up.